Begin PODFIX network transmission in 3, 2, 1.
Hey everybody, this is former WWF Light Heavyweight Champion Gilbert, brother, and you're listening to the Greetings Guild Podcast.
Is that like when the groundhog comes out is when you change your name to something filthy? I am Skipper Bob, and I'm joined by Johnny Coxville. Emphasis on the cock.
If that comes out, that usually means 6 more months in prison.
What, no probation this time?
I guess it depends on where it happens, but there's a wealth of a difference between by the 7-Eleven and in front of a school. So, yeah.
This is a wonderful kickoff right here. I love it. Welcome, everyone, to the Cretans Guild Podcast. I am, as you heard, Bob, and joined today by Corey.
Nah.
Johnny Coxville.
Yeah, there we go. All right.
We are without
We're
Jay.
stage names today.
We need to give a name for Jay for this episode. What's a good? Do it on the fly.
You can't do that. No.
Do.
Johnny Horderoy. How about that?
He would appreciate that.
I'm sorry. That's all I got.
No, he would appreciate that. I can guarantee it. Guys, we are talking about music tonight. But first off, I got to tell you, we are part of the PODFIX network. You find them at podfixnetwork.com. PODFIX like a motherfucker.
Mm-hmm. And within PODFIX's network, you would find us back at the end of the alley, which their office is next to.
Yeah, we're the ones over in the back in the shadows chewing on moss.
With our legal representatives, by the way.
Oh, no, they're about ready to ditch us.
Oh, damn it.
They were working pro bono up to a point.
I knew they'd finally come around. It's our loss, really. But fuck them. We won't miss you.
We were lucky to have them when we did. Anyway, like I said, we are talking about music. So I did have a little bit of a setup here I wanted to touch on. So I have worked in audio for
ever.
Yeah, pretty much. And I remember I used to work with this guy named Ron. Ron was fantastic. Ron taught me a lot about
Ronaldo.
He taught me a lot about being an audio engineer and like how to do this and how to do that. The one thing I always noticed, because we would bump in with popular music, we would pay that ASCAP fee. So we actually came in with music you'd hear on the radio and whatever.
Industry talk. ASCAP fee is what?
Where you pay for copyrights to play copywritten music.
Basically audio Gettys.
Yep. And they give you a long list of like almost everything under the sun that you can play. The bitch about it is you've got to document what you played, how long you played it, did it have lyrics, and then you have to give contributing acknowledgement, meaning you have to detail everyone who ever produced it, everyone who wrote it. This was a huge pain in the ass to do every day after the show. It's like, just find a song. Now we have to find out which of the 4 major labels own it, and now who wrote it, and now who produced it. It was a big pain in the ass.
Essentially, no freestyle in between Cowboy Bebop theme, Dragon Force, and then the TF2 intro.
Well, I wasn't allowed to play those songs.
Like, period, yeah. But once upon a time, we were.
Well, yeah, at times where nobody cared, or
nobody cared, or the market was, or the viewership was too small. The market was actually quite big, and I'm surprised we got away with some of it. But
it's just no one did anything about it. When I started working at like the national level, people start giving a shit. Then, I thought it was really funny. Like a really popular song, I want to say "Single Ladies" or something like that, was written by 15 people. It's amazing.
To reach the core of that song took at least 15 different brains. But it's a very complex meaning.
Well, the thing is, I knew Ron the entire tenure I worked with him, and he would always complain about music. Like, always like, I hate that song. That song sucks. Oh God, I hate this freaking song. Oh God, oh God.
Was it like always the newer tunes though, or did he do that with the same stuff? Like if you rolled Credence, would he say anything about that?
He said that about nearly every single music track we played. I really can't. Maybe he liked Rush. Maybe he liked some other stuff.
People that like Rush they're not ambiguous about it. They're like, dude, I gotta lend you whatever fucking Rush album they're listening to at that time.
Dude, have you heard Moving Pictures? Holy shit.
Oh my God. The Sounds of Salesmen. All right.
Spirit of Radio was actually one of my favorite songs they do.
Well, which one?
Spirit of Radio.
Spirit of Radio.
Sounds of Salesmen.
I don't know their titles either.
Oh.
The only reason I know about that stupid fucking lyric is because of Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Oh yeah.
When Shake blurted that out, I fucking spit my taco halfway across the room. Because you know what they sound like, especially if you delivered pizza for as long as I had.
God.
But you only know them like by recall, so you're like, I don't know what albums these came from. I don't know what song titles these are. I just know that they're Rush because the lead singer sounds castrated, and that's pretty much it. That's their trademark. They're Canadian and they're castrated.
I'm not going to deny it.
Goobs is pissed.
Yeah, well, when is he not? Oh, are we talking drunk?
It could be both. Honestly, It probably is a combination of the two at this point. But yeah,
we love you, Goobs.
If he heard that, we love you. That's given. But if he heard me say that, that's a trigger. That's a trigger phrase right there. Rush is
His
mid.
whole body shivers.
Yeah. I'm gonna fucking throw up now. Thanks, Corey.
So the funny thing is with Ron, I can't. Jesus. If you listened all this time, you know what we're going on about. It's the deepest of inside jokes that everyone knows,
and the most reliable too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, Ron ended up he would hate like every single music track we play. It's like, oh, that song sucks. I can't stand listening to this shit. And I was thinking, Ron, we work in audio where we are bombarded with this music. And I developed kind of like the mindset where if you're going to be forced to hear everything, you're just like running yourself down mentally if you're just going to hate everything. So I decided I'm not going to hate everything, but I will pick 5 songs that I absolutely freaking hate with a passion and would just love it if they were to be burned and sent away forever.
All right.
So I put out the question that we should examine the 5 songs that we, the Cretans Guild, hate more than anything. Now, Jay isn't with us tonight, but he was nice enough to send us his audio clip of the songs that he hates.
Yeah.
So let's listen to that right now, then we'll analyze it.
Jay never sent in his audio clip because he hates everything about this podcast and Corey, and Bob, but especially Corey. But more especially Bob. Here are his picks. Number 5. Boot Scooting Boogie by Brooks and Dunn. Number 4. Chattahoochee by Alan Jackson. Number 3. That fucking terrible Pitbull song Green Light. Number 2. The Butte. This is the goal song of the Montreal Canadiens. Number 1. The Sign by Ace of Base.
All right, so after that little diatribe,
I know. I was about to be a little bit sad because he isn't here, and he's our resident rant master.
well, I'm sure.
So I thought we were going to be losing a bit of the rhythm, but no, I was there.
He's not a big fan of the countries.
No. There's 2. We go ahead and read them off because you can kind of pair them.
Recapping, he hates Boot Scootin' Boogie by Brooks and Dunn. Chattahoochee by Alan Jackson. Chattahoochee. I refuse to pronounce that correctly. He hates that one Pitbull song, Green Light, that they use for WrestleMania. Le Butt. Now, this one I agree with him.
Uh-huh.
The song that they play when the Montreal Canadiens score. Le Butt.
Le Butt.
Le Butt.
Oui, oui.
Le Butte. Le Butte. I don't know. It's a terrible fucking song. It's some ice disco crap. techno garbage, whatever. And this was the interesting one. He hates The Sign by Ace of Base.
Ooh, you little shit. What?
Oh.
Damn it. I feel my veins fucking burning now. God damn.
Okay.
Actually, yeah, it's an okay song. That's just kind of one that I didn't see coming off of his list, really.
Neither did I, but at the same time, it doesn't surprise me.
It's very digestible, and I don't know if it's because of our Generation X bias here, but that song is very strong comfort food for me, as is the rest of that album. And it's kind of, it's Ace of Base, so it's not like you're listening to.
I mean, I can see where he's coming from because the song is a little grinding.
I don't know. It's not like Judas Priest Painkiller or something like that, but it's just. It's good. It's good. It's like pizza. It's like pizza for my ears, you know? You can't have 3 pizzas in a single night, but...
Yeah, you can.
Okay, I can't have 3 pizzas in a single night, but if I, gird myself, I can have one, and I'll enjoy the entire thing.
What kind of pizza is this song?
What kind of pizza would a Swedish pizza?
Is this the one with, olives and fish on it?
What's that?
Does it have olive and fish on it?
Olive and fish. It would have lutefisk on it. I believe there would be ample doses of lutefisk and meatball, which that's not too far out of the country line or country boundaries. I think there would also be some pretty heavy gravy attached to it. And is there anything else that's stereotypically Swedish that I'm missing here?
I think you're just about. I think you've named their entire diet aside from vodka.
I think that's Russia, but no, you're right. Finlandia makes really good vodka, so that's not a lie. I guess just put a blonde wig and some blue contacts on it, and you've got a Swedish pizza. Oh wait, forgot a vital ingredient: Swedish fish.
The jellies.
All right, I might have a bit of an apprehension towards eating the entire thing. But maybe that's the Ace of Base experience for me, and I'm kind of glossing over it and putting lipstick on that pig. But no, I don't hate that song at all.
His 2 country songs.
Oh yeah, those suck. Those suck out loud.
Take your word for it.
That comes from a very dark time in country music's history, and that was the 90s when they were trying to form their own identity and nobody knew what the fuck to do.
Were they trying pop country?
Yeah, that was the birth of pop country, actually, was when they were starting to bring we can blame a lot of that on Garth Brooks. I mean, all things considered, he is a pretty good musician. I was thinking
Shania Twain.
Shania Twain, yeah, she tarted it up, but some people came before her. That's T-A-R-T, by the way. I'm not going to cash in my karma coins on an actual non-tarred verbiage. No, there were others that came before her. I don't want to say Reba McEntire because she was still a veteran by that point. But, that was one of the things, man. Record labels were actually asking the veterans to kind of catch up with the electronic music or with the overproduction of country music. And one of the most tragic examples of this was George Jones. Was a George Jones single called High Tech Redneck. And the first time I saw that video for myself in real fucking life, I thought I was having a fever dream. And that maybe I had caught the flu in the 5 minutes before I actually saw the fucking video. And then I passed out and hit my head on a door jamb or something.
And then you came up with the details for the flux capacitor.
Oh, that would have been a benefit of some sort, but I don't think the cost would have been worth it. It was so we would call it cringe-inducing now. It's like the epitome of you wanting to crawl out of your own body and slither down a toilet. And find paradise in the sewers beyond your own house. It was so fucking awful. And that was mainly country music like that. Now, they tried to rope Johnny Nash. They tried to hook Johnny Cash into it as well. And he did actually produce an album at that point. It wasn't one of his best, but he had nothing in the way of overproduction having to do with it.
Huh.
He left.
I wasn't aware of this.
He left. Yeah, it was the single. It was "Mean Eyed Cat," I think, and it was okay. It was like a hokey road tune, and it lasted all of maybe 2 minutes and 10 seconds. So it's not like your usual Cash epic or anything. But
it was just a single track.
It was very digestible, yeah. But he had an album around it, and it was it was him trying to explore more. This is before his cover of Hurt. So
that was the last thing he did.
more or less.
No,
but,
I think it was the last thing he did.
No, that was like in the late 90s, wasn't it? Or at least the early two. Well, yeah, if it was
right
early
before
2000s,
he died.
Yeah, you're right about that. I don't know. I want to say that he did cut another record after that, but maybe I don't know.
I'm not a Johnny Cash expert, but I'm fairly certain that's the last thing he did.
Casually know him. Know his discography anyway. But shit, yeah. Boot Scootin' Boogie and Chattahoochee by Alan Jackson are both fucking abominable. Even Cletus T. Judd stood nary a chance of getting any sort of respectability back. Cletus T. fucking Judd is the guy we were looking to save the soul of country music in the 90s. And it just wasn't happening. Now, I don't really have anything to say about like Green Light because I don't think I know that song. But
I know it. It's one of those songs. Okay, move on with my life. I don't. Whatever.
Can you hum it?
No, I won't.
You're not gonna? No.
Nah. Google is a thing.
All right.
But other than that, I did want to point out. We had a song submitted to us by Theme Park Rob, and I thought it was really interesting. He really, really hates "Tainted Love" by Soft Cell.
It's not a great song. It's not.
Well, it's not, but I thought, that's interesting because the song was been covered like how many times, and that was the original, wasn't it?
The song itself is a cover too.
Oh, well, I thought that was the original by Soft Cell.
Hold on a second. See, I'll hum the shit.
Sometimes I feel like
because I care. Tainted Love cover of what? We're doing Google Food right now. I know it makes for great podcasting, but Where Did Our Love Go? And that's not what I was looking for. I was looking for the group because I don't know if it was the Shondells or fucking who. Gloria Jones.
Really?
Yeah. Which was originally recorded by Gloria Jones in 1964. So it attained worldwide fame after being covered and reworked by British synth-pop duo Soft Cell. Oh, they were a duo? I didn't know that. In 1981, has since been covered by numerous groups and artists, but every version of Soft Cell's Tainted Love that has been covered was a cover of a cover.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
Did your parents listen to a lot of oldies when you were in the car?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, what constitutes as oldies? Because my mom would listen to one kind of music, my dad would listen to another kind of music. So.
You want to know what oldies are? Are you ready to die?
Yeah.
Right now in your chair.
I know what oldies are right now, but
yeah, Smells Like Teen Spirit is a fucking oldie now.
Yeah, you're not.
It was an oldie 10 years ago. Yeah.
It has no shock value anymore.
Social Security, Bob, in 15 years will be valid.
Oh, if I make it to 15 years, I'll consider that a victory.
You'll make it to 15 years. Evil never really truly dies.
It just fades away or gets fatter.
I think it just like passes on through Twitter. Anyway, so LeBut, I don't have a whole lot to say about that. And the sign.
Oh, I've heard it. It's terrible.
Yeah, it's got a great title though.
I don't know if that's what it's actually called or that's what he labeled it.
Oh, that's a terribly good question. Yeah, but I already did my Googling for the night, so fuck it. Yeah. Let's go and let's move on. All right, so you got a list too?
I got a list. You got 5 lists?
I do. So
let's do our 5s.
Okay. You want to like bounce back and forth?
Yeah. Let's bounce back and forth.
All right. I'll go first because my first 2 are seasonal, and I'm kind of out of.
What's your 5?
What's that?
What's your 5th?
All right. My 5th. Auld Lang Syne. Not
really
the song that you sing at the New Year's Eve party. It is a Dan Fogelberg tune about him reconnecting with an old flame, and it is the whiniest, pants pissiest bullshit you will ever hear. It's not calling it sentimental undercuts how much of a fucking liquid deuce this thing is. If you ever play it, because people for some godforsaken fucking reason will put it in their holiday playlist, and you'll be at like an office party or something, and you'll hear like here's Mariah Carey, which I'm surprised wasn't on Jay's list. And then here's Mr. Snow Miser. Great. All right, what are we gonna chase that down with? Throw that shit out. Oh, we're 20 stories up. It might hit somebody. Fuck it. They deserve it.
Put them out of their misery
their
too.
presence had a probable their presence had like a probable influence upon what song was going to pop up next in this holiday playlist. I guarantee you they were deserving of that fate. I don't give a shit, because that song is enough to drive me into like an irrecoverable realm of irrationality. It's that fucking shitty.
Okay.
And the reason I was having such a problem coming up with this list is because I could not ever hate any other song as much as I hate that turd.
Sounds like it should be your number one then.
It makes me want to go back in time and rescue Hitler, okay? Just because there's a sliver of a chance that him, like, running roughshod over the rest of the planet might preclude Dan Fogelberg never being fucking born to write that song.
Oh, God.
If he said, like, Danka and then shot me right in the head, I would die with a smile right then and there if I knew that that was the end result. So I don't like that song.
Okay.
Your turn.
All right. I can tell you that all 5 of my songs were arguably they were hits. They were pretty big. None of them really obscure. Or they got famous for one reason or another. But I think mine are pretty much universally hated by everybody. But my number 5 would be Ice Ice Baby. Cannot stand that song.
Yeah, it's a shitty song. But to a lot of people, that's the point of it.
Well, I mean, I think when it came out in the early 90s, I just wanted to stab something in my ear. I really hated that song when it first came out. And I can't say that about a lot of music. It's like, oh God, this is the first time I've ever heard it. I want to die.
And you've subjected yourself to a lot of music over the years.
Yeah, and then I think the more I heard it, like red lights or whatever, I was like, is this a cover of something else? And they used the
You recognize the sample?
Yeah, the sample. They sampled it from another song. I was like, oh, they fucking ruined that song for me, and I loved it.
It's David Bowie. You can't ruin David Bowie.
Oh, they tried. They desperately tried.
David Bowie could actually adopt my anti-Auld Lang Syne strategy, and it still wouldn't ruin him. I'd be like, look what you did, dude. You rescued Hitler. and they'd be like, yeah, mate. But guess what? Dan Fogelberg dies tonight.
Breaking news. David Bowie saves Adolf Hitler.
And I'd be like, you have a salient point there, Bowie. Dave, may I call you? But this other song did not ruin your seminal hit, Under Pressure. Because that one takes 2 to tango, wasn't it? You'd have to involve Freddie Mercury also.
Yeah.
And he's not around to kind of softball that in.
Well, it's not like Bowie's around either, so.
Well, not anymore, no.
Yeah.
I'm not fully convinced of that, but I don't want to start writing a 4th Men in Black movie right now. So
he's like one of those celebrities that when he finally did die, he was like, no, he's not dead. No.
Well, he was one of those people that, like, when I found out he was alive, I was like, oh my God, this dude's still alive? Well, yeah, he's going to live forever. That's why he's still alive. When he popped up in The Prestige, I was just like, ah, shit. He only looks old because they put aging makeup on him. I guarantee it. Like the old guy in those Six Flag commercials. He still actually looks like the White Prince, David Bowie. But now he's hanging out with Elvis, having all kinds of hedonism. Thank you very much. Anyway.
And Pol Pot.
With Pol Pot? I guess they would have a lot to talk about, being that they're all major personas from the 60s. Sure. They were up to quite a few shenanigans back in the day with Elvis's peanut butter and banana sandwiches and David Bowie's tantric sex and drugs and Pol Pot's murdering people.
You see, I knew you'd see the connection there.
Yeah. I mean, not that I'd have a whole lot to hold against Mr. Pot or Mr. Pol, or however he structures that. After all, we weren't supposed to be over there. And I'm pretty sure him and Elvis have a lot to say about that to each other.
Oh, Lord.
Anyway.
What's your number 4?
My number 4 is Monster Mash.
Oh, which version?
All of them. It's just Monster Mash.
Oh, I don't think you can do that.
Can I do that?
I don't. Well, I'll allow it, I guess. It's
See,
supposed to be an individual music track, not just all of a particular cover.
To be honest with you, I've never really heard any covers of Monster Mash. I mean, obviously there would be, because it's kind of like one of those. It's one of those evergreens. Some assholes got it on at the Halloween party, which is why I fucking hate that song. But yeah, I kind of thought that the shock would take a little bit to settle in at first, because it's like, well, Corey, that's like the Halloween theme, and Halloween's one of your things. It is. I love me the shit out of some Halloween. That song's fucking stupid. And I have no idea how it came into being either. And it's a puzzle that I would just like rather not solve. So yeah, that's one of my other ones. Now,
what I hate about that particular song is it has a sequel song. That happened like a lot in the 50s and 60s. Like a really, really popular song
are you gonna make
a big
my
hit
night
during the
awful,
summer.
Bob? Are you really gonna fucking ruin today for me?
It's real. There was a second. The singer, he made like another monster Halloween style song.
All right.
It was supposed to be a sequel to Monster
Fine.
Mash.
Give me brain aids. What's it called?
I thought we extended our Google search.
Okay. I think. Why am I doing this? Like, I'm allowing this to myself so I can only hurt just a little bit more. All right. Sequel to Monster Mash.
The Monster Swim?
Yes, there was a sequel to Monster Mash by Bobby Boris Pickett. That was the other thing I held against this guy. Like, the breezy adoption of
Yeah.
the nickname. Okay, so blah blah blah. Bobby returned with Monsters Holiday, and it seems to be like a Christmas themed one.
Oh god, he did series of monster songs.
And then Monster Swim, and in 1989, the Monster Mash Rap. That I'm going to allow myself to enjoy after the podcast.
There is no god. That's all I have to say.
I don't know. I think that might actually break the horribleness of Event Horizon for me, because there are some things that are like that. Like the second Ghost Rider movie. I fucking love that movie, unironically, and it is so fucking bad.
Well, I remember that the song "The Twist." There was another, like a follow-up song, "Let's Twist Again" or something like that, and I was like, "Oh, that's so fucking stupid, making sequel songs."
Yeah,
and I knew that Monster Mash had a sequel song to it.
Yeah,
I don't know like how common that was, but I think it was like, hey, we captured lightning in a bottle. Let's see if we could do it again with the same exact premise.
Well, there's only one person that thought of that as lightning in a bottle, and that was Bobby Pickett. The rest of us were like, no, you just puked into a bottle, and all of us can do that.
And you forced us to listen to it.
Yeah, that's not a talent, dude. By the way, did you know that there was a fourth sequel to The Twist?
Okay.
It's called I Can't Fucking Twist Anymore because I'm fucking dead. Anyway, sorry.
Just work on your timing a little bit.
I'm only laughing because of your response. I was like, shit, he saw this coming.
I know you. It's been what, 30 fucking years?
That's half my motivation. I'm like, I'm gonna make him doubt me again. Hey, did you know there's a sequel to the Twist song? All right, gotta be edgy. I couldn't even be too edgy about it because you completely diffused me. I'm like, fuck, there it is. It's so good. The Rickness of disappointment.
Yeah, people listening couldn't see it, but I'm just like rotating my wrist, like, all right, come on,
Yeah.
let's do it. Let's hear it. What do you have to say? What's gonna spew out of your face now?
Yeah, his face a mask of just like the most potent crestfallen disappointment. Okay. Whose song are we on? Oh, it was Monster
Mine.
Mash. Would that be you?
Yep. So my number 4 would be "Who Let the Dogs Out." God awful, fucking overplayed piece of shit.
And unenjoyable until you see someone take a fat nasty header at the roller rink to that song.
You must go to the rink an awful lot.
Well, I used to go to the rink an awful lot, but usually when that song comes out and you're on wheels, it does pump the energy up a little bit. And sometimes, at least one time in my experience, it's going to cause somebody to go to get a little bit too free with their rollerblades and have an epic fucking dump out.
I think I hated that song more when it got marketed, and then you start hearing it in commercials.
When you saw it in a lot of dog food commercials.
Like anything. I mean, when Disney was using it for Air Bud or just anything dog related, oh god, it was just fucking grind me to the soul.
Was there? Can you try, like? yeah, a lot of people did overuse it at some point. But here's the more amusing thought about that. It was in so many commercials and so prevalent, and it seemed to be like so perfectly synchronized at the same time. Like there was just a period of commercials that had who let the dogs out in it. That you had to imagine that in New York there was like maybe 21 individual dudes in suits looking at a marker board, trying to come up with a new promotional campaign for whatever fucking dog food that they were, contracts.
It wasn't just
on.
dog food. It was like, how can we sell this Old Spice? I don't know. Have some dogs running around barking, and then we play the Who Let the Dogs Out.
Yeah, but these dudes, they're like, they had no inclination that was like absurdly on the nose, and that they were like the biggest fucking geniuses for thinking about it. And they're like, shit, this is going to sell so much Alpo. Give me that goddamn raise right now. I know we're 4 months ahead of employee review, but I'm fucking taking this built. This house, this is gonna be. I built this fucking place, motherfuckers. Who let the dogs out? Did you think of that? No, you didn't think of that. None of these other 20 bitches on this road thought of this. It was all me. I'm the first person ever. Yeah. And then he was fired. Because possible workplaces.
Threatening a coworker. He's a '90s Don Draper.
In that yeah, they were still like that up until very recently.
I wouldn't doubt it.
In that completely imagined scenario, though, he's also threatening his boss too. So,
all right. So, what was your number 3?
Welcome to Hallucination Theater. My number 3 was. This is a sad one. Germs by Weird Al.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not crazy about the song. I skip it every time it comes on, but I don't loathe it. I don't hate it.
There are 3 perception tiers to Weird Al's not discography, because that goes by album, right? Just his complete bibliography. 1 is like, I'm laughing my ass off at this. 2 is, that's not as funny, but it's fucking clever.
Yeah, the
and
respect
3 is,
level.
Yeah, the respect level. Like, that's usually where, like, to illustrate the perfect example of that one, that's Bob, the palindrome song.
Yep.
Fuck, that song's great. It's not funny, but it's like art.
Yeah.
The 3rd one is when he does style parodies, and you're laughing your ass off anyway, but you don't quite know why, but you're still enjoying them. But the thing about a Weird Al song is that they're all enjoyable they all tickle some part of your hippocampus, different areas. Germs is the one song where I felt like he had to come up with something to round it out. So he's like, all right, style parody. I haven't done Trent Reznor yet, and germaphobes are funny and pathetic. Here we go. We're recording that shit now. And that was the first time I'd ever heard a Weird Al song where I was like, why am I listening to this? It hurt a little bit. And
was it a Trent Reznor style?
It was him trying to do 9-inch nails. God damn it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so it was just like if there was a Weird Al, if Weird Al does have like a bingo card for putting together his like actual parodies, or his style parody songs, and we weren't able to like have any inkling of such a thing for this long of a time, that was one of the first songs that kind of like. That was one of the first songs that kind of like let us look at the cocktail napkin that he writes some of his lesser known songs on. Mm-hmm. Where he's just like, all right, here's the first thing, here's the second thing, we're recording this, it's done.
Usually when he does style parody, it's of a musical act or group that he like really respects. So
yeah, well, he probably respects the hell out of Trent Reznor, but it's not it's a complete disappointment.
Well, it's more along the lines of like a musical respect, like, oh, I love the way this sounds and the way these melodies flow and everything. Mm-hmm. It's not, oh, I can make fun of that song.
Yeah. No, generally
that's what the parodies are for.
That's what the parodies are for, right. But it was just him being so, I don't know. Being so grindhousey with his music. It was uninspired.
Germs, I don't care for. I just skip it. But there are a couple of Weird Al tracks that are like that,
that's
including Genius in France. That's another one. It's like, oh, whatever. I don't find this funny. Skip.
Mm-hmm. That's the thing. That was like the first Weird Al Yankovic song I've ever skipped over.
Oh.
Yeah. That was the first one I'd ever skipped over. Like in the middle, I was like, this is not good. First time ever listening to it, and I was like, all right, I hope this isn't like the whole album, because that would be really sad. That would be really depressing. And every time
I could actually see Weird Al doing that, actually.
Yeah, and that was on Poodle Hat, right?
I don't remember. It was around that Running with Scissors era.
Mm-hmm.
Not Straight Outta Linwood. I don't think so.
Yeah, that was
Before
a great
that.
album, though.
Yeah, it was.
Straight Outta Linwood was pimp as shit. There was absolutely no zeros on that whatsoever. But yeah, Germs. That's my third. Disappointing. Disappointing song. Disappointing.
You're more
entry.
disappointed in it than you hate it.
Because
Is
you
that
don't
right?
because I've never been disappointed in Weird Al.
Okay. No, I
Yeah.
totally get that. Yeah, no, that makes sense. My number 3 is the Macarena. I fucking hate this song for so many reasons.
You're running down a whole lot of a Generation Xers wedding list.
Well, this one I actually hate for a personal reason.
Mhm.
And this one, I remember in high school, I was taking Spanish class, and this song had just come out.
Okay.
So, Mr. Mena asked the whole class, do we want to take a Spanish test or do we want to dance the Macarena? And I said, test. I want to test. Test me all goddamn period. I don't care. Test. El donde está como suta? I will test until I bleed. I do not want to do this fucking embarrassing hand crossing, turning, hip shaking. What am I? How is this teaching me about Spanish? I am not this. What are we doing here? I hate this song.
Yeah. At least if you got an F on that test, nobody else would have to know.
I would have been proud of it. I wouldn't
Yeah.
care. It's like, at least I wouldn't have to do the fucking Macarena.
Yeah.
He had us line up against the wall across the entire classroom, and
What, execution style?
yeah, that's what it felt like.
Like you were in front of the firing squad?
Yeah, the class was like 45 minutes of the Macarena on loop, over and over and over. It was probably, it was some kind of Stockholm Syndrome type of like torture that was going on.
Wait, he actually looped it and you just spent the entire class doing it?
The whole class. We're just
Mr.
like
Mr. Mena didn't want to be there that day.
oh, did he ever want to be there?
Yeah, it's a fair question. That's true.
As a senior, he brought me in as a teacher's aide to help him grade tests, so he could just sit back and do nothing.
Yeah, that's a motherfucker's trying to strong arm a teacher duty day.
I don't know what happened to him, but I still
it's like-
hate that fucking song.
And it's like February, so summer's a long way off. That's tragic, Bob. And I never want to hear that story again.
Well, okay.
We're on twos. Okay, my number 2 is a bit of a weird one. It's kind of niche.
Huh?
But if you're into baseball, you might have heard this before. Baby Elephant Walk, Henry Mancini.
Really? That's like a generalized, regular ho-hum song.
Yeah, it's exactly. It's like a sports evergreen. And to be honest with you, I don't have a whole lot against 2/3 of it because it's Mancini. He's hard to hate. But
Right.
have you ever heard the solo in the middle of it?
Uh,
There's a solo.
I know I've heard it several. I would play it when I was working at Fox a couple of times.
Right. Well, if you let it roll for about 20 minutes or so,
Let's go on for a while.
you'll get treated to like one of the worst fucking jazz solos you'll ever hear in your entire life. Because it's performed on either a baritone saxophone or a bassoon, neither of which are soloable instruments. I mean, I'm sure in somebody's capable hands they can be, but it's an uphill battle. B, the person that's performing the solo, whoever it is, he's taken the whole free form concept of jazz to an insufferable degree. Because he has.
You're gonna like this jazz. I'm gonna shove it down your throat.
Yeah, exactly. None of it's gonna make any sense. I have no sense of musical progression or chaining whatsoever. I don't know what it's like to go from one low minor to a high minor. I'm just 100% bullshit, and you're gonna like it. Because if you don't, you're an idiot. You have low cultural values. It's like, man, you don't know how to fucking solo because you play bassoon, which is a support instrument and will always will be.
Is that an oboe as a solo? What the hell?
An oboe would have been
Oboe
cool.
solo.
Oboes are good. Oboes are great. They're just basically tiny saxophones. But this was an atrocity. And almost a convincing argument for the complete, like, global outlawing of jazz as a concept. Because this is what it becomes in an evil man's hands. Is that solo in the middle of Baby Elephant Walk.
Dr. Evil has it on his cassette tape just ready to queue up at that point.
Dr. Evil probably wrote the fucking thing and convinced Mancini that he did it as part of one of his, like, Machiavellian complicated plots. Anyway.
People would hear the song and then they'll want to dance in the street because of the weird jazz.
Durka, 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 durka.
All right, so my number 2 is was a
it was number 2.
super popular country song.
Mm-hmm.
Achy Breaky Heart.
I don't hate it. You want to know why?
Why?
Because it was the genesis for one of my favorite Weird Al tunes. Don't play that song, that achy breaky song. Yeah. One of the rare Weird Al tunes where he has like a, whatever, the bilabial fricative solo in the middle of it, which, by the way, that would have been a great jazz tune solo. Just saying, Mr. Mancini. Vet your staff a little bit better.
What do you do? I play a baritone saxophone. What do you do? I can make fart noises musically with my hands.
Yeah. Get in here, man. We got a place for you.
Have a seat.
Freeform toots.
I don't even listen to country, and I was bombarded by this song, Achy Breaky Heart. It's like, oh my God, get out of my ears.
Oh, we'd already been through the many crimes of country in the 90s, and yeah, that is one of the worst ones. But for purely nostalgic reasons, I can't bring myself to hate it too much. There's actually a couple of tunes from that unfortunate era that I can listen to without wincing too much. I think Deanna Carter had a couple of singles.
All right, let me pitch this to you real quick before we get into our number ones. What is the worst song, in your opinion, that Weird Al improved on when he made a parody of it?
Fuck, that's a good one.
Because I got one off the top of my head. I'm not sure if it's like my pinnacle choice, but one that first comes to thought is Party in the CIA. Parody of.
I'm going to lose so much respect from you right now, or I'm going to lose so much respect in front of you. I actually really like that song.
Oh, the original?
Yeah, the original one.
Then I have one that I know you agree with.
Oh, okay.
Word Crimes.
Word Crimes is brilliant. I was going to go with that, actually. That is so good. It made a song that was like nearly unlistenable, completely worth the trouble of it existing.
Yeah, I absolutely love that song, and I loved like the origins of the original song and how everyone didn't even listen to it at first, and they just absolutely fucking loved it. And then they actually took the time to listen to it. It was like, oh God, this is a horrible song. And then Weird Al comes out with Word Crimes. Like, this is so much better. And it actually he's teaching us stuff about pronouns.
Well, the original song, I think, was like a little bit too, not to do a Patrick Bateman here, but I think it was a little bit too married to like a production concept. So you got like a lot of heavy rhythm with almost no harmony to it. I mean, a lot of it was like
I'm referring to the lyrics of the original.
Yeah, they were questionable. And also not written by the guy that got in trouble for it for the most part, which I find hilarious. But because it was Farrell wrote the song. He's still working in music. I think he's like still the face of his own enterprise at the moment anyway. But it was pretty abominable from behind the microphone. But the thing is that like the song itself is just like too staccato and too fucking dry, and it wears itself out really quickly. And it needed to rely upon the vocalist to provide the bonding instrument, you know? That was Thick had to be that song's soloing bassoon. but he wasn't there because, much like the soloing bassoon, he fucking sucked, and he shouldn't have been there. And then it took Weird Al, him and his infinite jokiness, to create to provide that bond. So yeah, there was like the guts of a really good tune there. It's just that who it was given to didn't know what to do with it, and fucking our modern day poet, he took it to places it was never meant to go.
Okay, so do you have a favorite style parody or original song that Weird Al did?
Okay. I was only kidding. I fucking love that song to bits, and I hope they play it at my funeral. I want to play it at my wedding, but who the fuck knows if that's even gonna happen? But here's the thing about that as a style parody. I don't know who it's parodying, so I'm getting out of that one on a technicality. My favorite style parody that I can actually pinpoint the style to is Waffle King, because that's supposed to be Peter Gabriel style, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That song for like, I think 7 months straight killed me every time it came on rotation.
Okay, now I want to find out. Weird Al, I was only kidding. It was on Off the Deep End. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was supposed to be some sort of I don't know. It seemed to me that it was like a bit of a generic, just a hyper rockish kind of a jock tune, you know. But
it is a style parody of Tony OK.
Really?
That's what's listed.
All right.
Particularly Hatred.
You got the Asperger's. You got the Asperger's going in me now, because I need to know who this is. Tony OK. And the song
TONIO. That's the first word.
Tony
and just the letter K. Tony OK.
Son of a bitch. Is an American singer-songwriter who has released 8 albums.
Huh.
And not more than 5 minutes ago, I didn't know he existed. And he was the genesis for one of my favorite Weird Al tunes. That's fucking awesome.
That is awesome. I love that.
All right. See, this was kind of going to play into the cold open that I wanted to do at the beginning of the last one, but yeah, we'll save it. We'll save it. Just okay. On the next podcast, remind me of Tony OK, and I'll know what to talk about.
Okay. All right. So what is your number one? Most hated, cannot stand song?
My number one is such a repugnant presence to me in the music industry that it is not just a particular tune, and I know that like this might be seen as getting out of jail easy, but it's a band, and I have such a distaste for the music that they create that I don't actually hate the band. I obviously don't love them either, but they make me feel nothing. Like, whenever one of their songs comes on the radio, and boy, once upon a time, their songs came on the radio fucking a lot, I would question if living was still worth it. And this is usually when I was, doing pizza, because if I'm hearing this fucking tune, I'm in the car, and the radio's on. And I would just begin to doubt everything that I saw and heard. This universe has no room for me. Why am I here?
Oh my god.
This song is
setup.
Okay, it's a good setup because you'll know what I'm feeling because you know who this band is. It's Limp Bizkit. There's just... How did they come to be? And I try to keep myself away from bashing on too many mainstream acts because it's kind of like a low ring, you know?
Are you saying you can't even look at cookies the same way anymore?
No. Because, well, it's not about the cookie. It's about something else. And hearing those lyrics make me care about neither. It's just it. I don't care. I thought for a little while that I found something to appreciate with My Way, but it's not a good song. It was never meant to be a good song. People don't register it as a good song. They just think they do. I thought I did because it took The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin cutting a promo to it to make it actually good.
Right. I cannot think of WrestleMania 17 without that recap video of the entire show to that song. I'm like, God damn it, they made this work.
That was an amazing promo, though. I mean, everything about it was great. They took the choicest shots from that match. It was edited like crazy good, and somebody just found a way to fit the song into it. And I was like, oh, okay, maybe I'm wrong about this. And then I like had it show up on my playlist. Like, I don't know. I was fucking driving in the dark, so I must have been going to work.
Like a Spotify suggestion. It's like, here, you might like this song with all your other crap.
I don't play shit on my phone, so it was on my personal playlist on like an MP3 player or something. And it shows up, and I'm like, I don't really have to go to work today.
It just took all the wind out of your sails.
I'm going to stop by the ABC. Yeah, I'm going to go home.
I'm calling in Limp Bizkit today.
I'm going to find the darkest corner of my room and keep this bottle of Finlandia and a dull pair of scissors next to me. Because I'm telling you what, this day doesn't seem worth it anymore.
All right, so I'll give you can't stand anything the band does. Is there any one particular song that like puts it over the edge?
It could be Rollin'. Because, like we've previously stated, most of their catalog is, by default, not worth living for. Rollin' is where they seemingly are conscious of that fact, and they decided to go ahead and add just bare bones repetition to the entire fucking song from beginning to end. So that's them saying, you know what? If our music depresses you to the point of questioning your own mortality, well, this is how much we care about that. 0. We're going to take the worst thing that other songs that you can listen to does and put it on top of this bullshit right here. Yeah, fuck Rollin'. Nobody needs it.
All right, so that was your number one.
Uh-huh.
My number one, I hope everyone would agree with me. I know some people don't, because I've actually heard people say that they like this song.
I cannot wait to be the person that disagrees with you in front of you.
Well, people who I have said like this song,
Mhm.
I actually lose so much respect for. Because how could anyone like this goddamn song? It is so... I mean, compositely, it's horribly arranged. It sounds terrible. I hate the fact that it was assembled by someone whose parents had money, so they published it and they made it big and it played all over. And I think like everyone universally hates this song, but this particular track fucking just digs. I'd rather shove a screwdriver in my ear canal than even think of this song. And it's Friday by Rebecca Black.
I don't think I've ever heard that tune.
You have heard the song. I guarantee it.
Have I?
Yes.
Huh.
It's some teenager singing horribly bad. Singing is being modest.
Uh-huh.
It's slightly auto-tuned, and she's just repeating Friday, 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 Friday. And it got so much airtime, and it was so just god awful. This was a horrible song. I hate how it was made. I hate you if you like it. I really do.
She looks like a YouTuber.
She probably was. And I think she complained that
she was a YouTuber. Huh.
Okay. Yeah. I went down. She did complain that she was bullied out of the business. Like, no, you just suck. That's all. I'm all against not bullying people, especially kids.
Uh-huh.
You suck. You put something like that out in the open for everyone to listen to, and it gets shit on and stomped on so badly. You kind of had it coming there, darling.
Wow, she peaked really early. She's like 24 now.
Yeah, like I said, it was a teenager whose mommy and daddy financed the song. I'm sure they spent some good money on it. Oh, and what I absolutely fucking hate is, like for the music video, she has like her friends, and her friends are like butt ugly teenagers.
Sorry. I didn't expect that turn of phrase. That was pretty. That was a haymaker cluster of words right there.
Your music sucks and your friends are ugly.
That's fucking great. This is pretty amazing. I feel like.
Oh, and you know what? She made a sequel song too.
God damn it! Of course she did. That's the curse. This is funny. This feels like this kind of feels like I survived the St. Valentine's Day massacre. Like this, not a single bullet touched me. Because I'm looking at the history of the song, and a classmate of Black in music video. No, let's not go over that. But she's like, it was covered on Glee. She appeared on the Tonight Show with Jay Leno.
Yeah, you see, its popularity, it's kind of like the Fantastic Beasts effects, where it came out and everyone's like, "Oh, what's this all about? This is this any good? I want to hear it. What is this?" And then they realized, "Oh, this is shit," and it fell really fast.
She was on Funny or Die on April Fool's Day when the comedy site was rebranded Friday or Die for the entire day.
Of course, it was.
I don't remember any of this stuff happening. I know what's going on here. This didn't happen in the non-powers booth continuum. I was safe. I was safe over there. Damn you, Quinn Mallory.
One time we did a story about how it was the most hated video in YouTube history. Or the most disliked or whatever.
Yep.
And then as soon as we were done telling the story, the anchor said, "I like this song." It's like, okay. This wasn't an anchor I was very fond of to begin with, so that really didn't help.
God, I love morning show anchors. They're the best. They're so gleefully oblivious.
Like, really? You like that piece of shit. You like having your eardrums just ran over and over again.
Well, let's throw a bit of a positive twist on these musical curses for ourselves. I went ahead and did a little bit of extra credit, which I bet you weren't expecting at all.
Not at all.
And I came up with a category, single entry category, for a song that in some way or some transmutation had kind of redeemed itself. It's an effect that I like to call the Pretenders effect, or the Proclaimers effect, because their big hit. I would walk 5,000 miles. Proclaimers, yeah. I don't know, whatever. I mispronounce words. Because their tune, like I Would Walk 5,000 Miles, was central to the plot of an episode of How I Met Your Mother, in that Marshall's old car had a Proclaimers tape that was jammed into the tape player, and that song was on permanent repeat. So they took a road trip and they couldn't shut the radio off, and the entire plot was them psychologically trying to manage themselves in this self-inflicted bubble of torture. So they hated the song, they liked it, then they hated it, and then they really hated it, and they were actually punching the radio at some point. Then by the end of the road trip, they were singing it out loud for some reason. All of a sudden, they came to grips with it, and they accepted it. They internalized that acceptance.
I've heard the B-52s have the same effect.
I love the B-52s. I will not tolerate unkind words about Kate Pearson and Fred Snyder. Ever. Not about Fred Snyder's middling coffee, and not about Kate Pearson's overpriced Airbnb where you live in a trailer. Both of those two things are real, by the way. And Fred Snyder's coffee
doesn't surprise me.
Pretty good. I was just trying to vie for the sake of a joke. But okay, so I Got a Feeling, Black Eyed Peas, which chases down the credits of, I believe, at least 5 3D animated movies from the early 2000s. I'm not quite sure about the count, but it's in a lot, and I'm positive it's more than one. So that was one of those songs that I could not stand hearing within the first first couple of years of its nascency. And then I caught it on the on the drive up here for the first time back in 2021. And for some reason, it just kind of clicked. And I was like, oh, this is good. It's keeping me up. Thank you, Black Eyed Peas. And your machine-created fucking audio bubblegum. More like audio Doritos, if it was any sort of counterpart. But yeah, I made my peace with that song's existence afterwards. I don't know how it happened. Maybe it was just road trip desperation or something.
I can see that because I've made peace with a particular song that was used in just about every single action movie trailer.
Oh, let me guess.
Yeah. Okay.
Ba with the ba?
No.
No. Okay.
No. Still hate that one.
Okay. Because it is terrible. Okay, go. Sorry.
Motley Crue's "Kickstart My Heart."
You hated that song at some point.
Well, I hated how it was. The first time I heard the song, I actually liked it because I liked the Crew. Then it started getting used in every single movie trailer, and just because it's got like a really nice guitar riff and
it's classic cock rock.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's rock music, and sure, I liked it. I was like, oh, that's an interesting choice. And then they started using it for animated movie trailers, and that's when I was like, hold up.
Which
do we
movies?
know what that song is about, for God's sake? I saw it in a trailer for Monsters University, I think.
Monsters University, no shit.
Yeah, it was like really quick, like a character rolls up a window, she turns on the radio, and then she drives off, and you can hear like a guitar riff of "Kickstart My Heart." And I'm like, yeah. And I'm thinking to myself, do any of you realize that song is about overdosing on heroin? Just saying.
I mean, if you let them know who wrote the song first, they might have gotten. They could get an inkling. They might be able to do the detective work themselves from there on. But
yeah, go up to like a producer. It's like, all right, we have the song called "Kickstart Your Heart." Oh, is that about? Like falling in love or something like that? Like he finds a girl and it like reminding him to love or something like that. It's like, well, I'll tell you this. It was made like by Motley Crue. Oh fuck! It's about sex, isn't it? It's nothing about sex. No. No, it's not. It's not about sex. Is it about drug use? You're getting there. You're halfway there. It's about post-drug use.
it is a title that sounds metaphorical, but it is to be taken very literally.
I mean, the story behind the song I absolutely love. And then when it started getting used, I was like, oh, okay, interesting. And then it started getting used for kid movies. Like, oh, shit.
That's only because the people that made the trailer, or at least staged the scene that was cut into the trailer, knows what that song is about, and they know that they could get away with it. You're
probably right. They knew. It's like we're just put in this song. They're gonna like the movie producers are gonna love it. They're gonna think it's awesome. It's like, oh, I really like that track you used in the trailer. Thanks, boss.
It's that bizarre billboard effect for really popular songs, because if you take the time out to listen to the lyrics of every move you make, you know immediately what it's about. It's about a fucking stalker, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But somehow it became safe to play in fucking Publix. So.
Well, it is Publix.
Okay, true. I guess I don't know. I don't know if you have like fucking high range grocery stores down there. I can't really name Goodings. I guess we could go with Goodings.
That's probably left over from like mall music they would play in the 80s, where people just didn't pay any attention, but they were still like going through the gap and like singing out the music that's playing overhead.
Yeah, but somebody will say that that's okay, and then somebody on staff will be like, you know what that song's about? And they'll be like, I don't fucking care. It's on the roll. Just let it go.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, well, here's a good one. Blurred Lines. You ever listen to the lyrics for that one? It's like, look, this is Hobby Lobby. Who gives a fuck? Nobody's here to listen. Nobody's dancing. Nobody's dancing on their way up to the cashier, okay? Certainly no grinding.
I want to go into a Hobby Lobby and hear Blurred Lines playing. Because that would be such a mindfuck.
The only time somebody would notice something's a little bit out of place is if a Rammstein song comes on, and somebody's like, "No, absolutely not." And like, this song is literally about baking a fucking cake. If you knew German, you would know that.
Listen, they sing parts of it in English. They say "living in America." They love America. Apparently, they live in Germany. Really, the line, "I'm not using my father's tongue," that didn't really stick out to you.
Yeah. The tongue, well, if it was Kiss, then I guess it would have by default. Kiss humor, which you don't get every day. But yeah, speaking of which, you'll hear fucking the Rock and Roll All Night Party every day. Just, going over to the bakery. And that's about as close as I think a grocery store would get to hard rock. But it's still that weird question. What has been deemed acceptable through like overexposure versus what can't be tolerated? Because it just sounds a little bit too weird. I don't know. Who knows what these guys could be singing about? The guitars are too loud.
I think once a track hits the classic rock station, then it's like, all right, it's fair game, whatever. Use it however you want.
Yeah. But it's funny to try to triangulate what songs are set up for that path, that trajectory.
Like going to a dentist and you hear Nirvana's "Rape Me." It's like, huh.
That's a good one. Because you hear it, I haven't heard it in any sort of a business establishment yet. That might be exaggeration, but you do hear it on Jack FM stations. You'll hear that shit chased down like Centerfold by Jay Giles' band.
The wheel's a little off today, I think.
Yeah, and it's chasing that shit down? Celine Dion.
Yep.
Anyway,
all right, that seems like a good point to jump off.
That would be a great song to preface the sinking of a giant ship, wouldn't it? God. Speaking of jumping off points, let's find a fucking door and just float for a little bit.
Let's sink this sucker.
Yeah.
Listen, wow. We have a link tree to all of our socials and other media that can be found in the description. Please come join our Discord. We would love to have you where the discussions do continue, but we also want to know what songs like grind your gears. What song do you really hate? Please let us know. We would love to continue the conversation with you one way or another. You can follow Jay over at YouTube at Square Pegs, his retro video game review show. The man is awfully freaking busy with that. I have a YouTube channel that I kind of like nurse back to health every once in a while. Skipper Bob's Breakdowns, where I go around Orlando. I am planning some big stuff for the summer, so just stay tuned for all that. I'm still like working some things around. I'm not as coordinated as Jay.
Big stuff takes big hours to put together.
And big money, too.
And big monies, yeah.
We do have merch. You can find that at tpublic.com. There's links down below. That features the art of Tom Sawyer. I almost did it again. Yeah. Tom Sawyer. Tom Solo.
The sounds of Solo.
Yeah, check out those things. Buy a shirt or buy a mug with his design. One of our Cretans Guild logos. You absolutely love them. We have a Halloween one. We do have a Christmas one. What should be the next holiday we have Tom design a logo for?
Huh. All right. So Halloween, Christmas. Those are the big ones.
Yeah, those are the big ones. We should do something for summer, shouldn't we?
We could steer hard into the sacrilege and do an Easter one. Spring break would probably be the most natural choice, though. I'm kind of surprised we haven't done a St. Patty's yet. Which would it could just be like a woman in a green T-shirt with.
I'll tell you what. If you guys have an idea, join our Discord. Let us know. We would love to hear from you. We actually, our Discord needs to grow. I'll just say that it does need to grow. But we would love to talk to anybody who wants to join.
Hey, me and Adam have a good fucking time on that thing. Okay.
Hey, we got a few more people coming in left and right every once in a while. Let's just let's build up the guild. Let's get a little bigger. Let's let this snowball not melt. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Once again, we are part of the PODFIX network, and to all of our followers, new and old, we say, welcome to the guild. No one can hear you mouth that.
Yeah, but they don't know what I'm doing either, and that's
this is true. I don't think they want to know.
Mystery. Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
Oh, it's Corey. He probably just whipped his dick out and shit. It's like, yeah, this camera's not catching that.
Oh God, he did.
Hey, you doing there, Sonny?
This was a podcast of the PODFIX Network. You can check out more shows like it at podfixnetwork.com.